I'm a red hot mama from my head to my feet. Sassy and brassy, so sexy and sweet. Oh, come a little closer, feel my heat.
Hi everyone, welcome to My Menopause Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Mesh Seibel. And I'm also the founder of My Menopause Magazine, which you can find in the Apple newsstand. You can go there and check out the first free issue. I know you're going to find that helpful. Today we are talking about sex, and it's just not sex, it is sex as we age, and we are talking with someone who has a lot to say about that. We are talking with Desiree Holt. Desiree is an unusual woman in the genre she's in. She is an award-winning erotic romance author with more than 130 titles. Usually, I'm not talking to a 76-year-old erotic romance author, so she's going to talk with us today about sex as we age and a little bit about what got her into this. So, Desiree, thank you so much for talking with me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much for calling me.
We live in a society where I feel it definitely caters to the young. When you look at an ad in a magazine, when you look at the beautiful bodies on the beaches, on television, or in the movies, it's always someone young that fits into a bathing suit beautifully. And a lot of people, as they age, don't look quite as nice or as perfectly proportioned as they did at a younger age. And I think a lot of times with all this emphasis on appearance and youth, that it affects and it erodes a little bit of the self-worth and some of the self-confidence that both sides of the equation have, men and women, but I think women in particular. And I wonder if you could comment on that.
Absolutely. I think that advertising and society in general does real flesh and blood women a huge disservice by trying to portray them all as size 2 mini models. Women aren't built that way, and most of the models that you see on magazine covers, most of the actresses you see, literally starve themselves into an image that they're asked to portray. There are lots of things in life to enjoy, food, drink, as well as sex. It doesn't give you the possibility to fit into a size 2 dress. But if you exercise and you're healthy and you eat well, nice curves can be very appealing. I think that sex only gets better as you get older because as the body ages, you have to become a lot more inventive to enjoy it the way you would like to. First of all, sex is healthy. It keeps the body healthy. It keeps the mind healthy.
One of the things I've heard you say is that you believe that erotic romance is the key to female sexual empowerment. And maybe you could elaborate on that for a moment.
I think that women's sexuality has been repressed for too many generations. It's okay for men to express their sexuality in many ways, but for women, it's frowned on. It's kind of like you're supposed to put it in the closet and you don't talk about it. The man should always take the lead. Don't tell him if there are things that you want to do that don't fit in with the conservative image of sex. I think that's wrong. I think if two people want each other and have feelings for each other and care about each other and want to have sex together, anything should be acceptable and nobody should frown on it. And I think that there need to be more books. I think this is what erotic romance does. It shows that women can have that empowerment, that they can take the lead if they need to, that they can be submissive in some cases if they need to, and that they can bring new ideas to the bed, so to speak, and feel good about it. And I'm hoping that they will read my books and those of other erotic romance authors and put themselves in the place of the heroine, feel good about that, and move forward with the ideas that they get from the stories.
We've been talking with Desiree Holt. Desiree Holt is sometimes called the world's most sex-crazed senior citizen and the porn queen of Texas Hill Country, but to me she's a delightful woman who writes very interesting erotic books. Her most recent one is Skin Deep. You might find of interest a new 6-CD audio series that I have created. It's called Better Sex, Better Intimacy. It includes a lot of the information that I've been discussing here today with Desiree Holt. We go into a little bit more detail, though, and it starts off by talking about what is sexual dysfunction. It defines it. So, is this normal or is this actually a sexual dysfunction? How common is that and what you need to know about it? It also talks to you about the concept of having sex if you're a person who's had cancer, or there's another whole discussion about sex with people who have had disabilities. There's a whole discussion also about painful sex and then what to expect when you seek out a sexual counselor. And finally, there's a whole CD of whole discussion of information about tips you can use to start improving your sex life right away. And if you're interested in that or want to know more about it, you can go to bettersexbetterintimacy.com. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. May Seibel. You've been listening to My Menopause Radio. You can find My Menopause magazine in the Apple newsstand. It's filled with a lot of content to help you in the transition of perimenopause into menopause and beyond. Remember, it's better to stay well than to get well. So stay well, everyone.